there may be somebody down in the valley trying to get home. So let your little light shine, shine, shine. Let your little light shine, shine, shine. Let your little light shine, shine, shine. Let your little light shine, let your little light shine. Because there may be somebody down in the valley trying to get home. Because there may be somebody down in the valley trying to get home.
Now, are we ready to step forward, take a walk through the space, acknowledging folks with our eyes when we see them, saying a little hello? Can we?
Yes.
Let's go to it.
How is it this advanced company that we started to take on this work? We're going to go more into that history, but what we've learned is that embodiment, and sometimes we'll say using the movement to build or strengthen or work with a movement. So we use movement, embodiment as a way to learn and deepen our experiences of movement building.
A lot of times people wonder, this community engagement thing and the physical thing that you do, how do those work together? How does that come together? So can I ask you to extend your right arm? So as you extend your right arm, if you think of this as the dancing work, the performing work, creating dances, professional dances, we're using modern contemporary dance with an African aesthetic, and touring them and performing them. The way you think of sort of when you think of a professional dance or theater company, that kind of traditional model. We do that, we have that. Now can you put your left arm out? All right. So the other side is using dance in a completely different way, and that's for holism and the health of everybody. So on this end, we've got some holism and health there, but on this end, we've got folks who are dancing who are not professional dancers, don't want to be professional dancers. That's not what it's about. It's community engagement, right? Arts-based community engagement. And if you could just say this word with me, bold.
Bold.
Bold is B-O-L-D. Builders, organizers, and leaders through dance. Builders, organizers, and leaders through dance. And we're using the dance to say, let's get back in touch with our bodies as a place of health, of holism. We reclaim these bodies. And I know the arm's out there a long time. We're practicing stamina. And we're saying, yeah, we got to strengthen some muscles so that we can lift our voices and tell our own stories and do the work when it's hard. All right, let's put it back into a sense of comfort, into our own fetal position. And rolling back up to be available to solidarity and our greatest good. And let's just make ourselves as wide and as huge and juicy and good old-fashioned, big as take some space. If not now, when? Take some space. Be your widest, juiciest, most bodacious self.
We've been doing organizing, myself, David, and many of us, for many, many years before we started the People's Institute. We didn't do no training institute. We just go out and help people. And that's what prompted me and Dr. Jim and David and many other people to come together to begin to say, our community needs training. It needs to have an analysis, beyond just having what we call a needs analysis. Our community have more than needs. Our community have strengths, have assets, and we don't never visualize that aspect of our community. We would do a training called Undoing Racism. And this training would make sure that every time we talk about bringing people together for social change or social transformation, people understood what racism was, because racism was a major factor, the most pervasive factor that has divided our community, whether it's the populist movement, the women's movement, any movement you've had, race has been a dividing factor.
Being in this community environment, I think is really important in a sense that right now everybody talks about racism and talks about like community issues within their own community, and nobody talks about community issues with other communities. And until now, it seems that when race comes up, people shut down or fights start, but everyone kind of throws their hands up and doesn't want to talk about it.
What I love about Urban Bush Women is we look at this idea of sustainability through many lenses. In order to do work within the community, I feel that it has to start with self. And we always in some ways feel about, okay, how we're going to sustain our communities. But first, we are an individual, but we are one of a collective. In order to take care of my community, I must take care of myself. Means that I have to be clear about what's going on within me. We have to take care of our bodies. We can't perform any action if there's no us. So this idea that my body is a vessel, we honor that in both our performance space, but as well as in our community engagement work. We use movement to create a movement. But then now, how can I take that step forward within a community? Where does that stand? How can I be myself as well as that of a collective? They go hand in hand, and if I'm going to be sustainable as a community, I must first sustain my body. How do we want to do this idea of organizing? It must come from a central place that we're clear about and that we're working it as effectively, so that way our intent can be as impactful as we envision it to be.
Because this is about learning from your experience. Remember we said that before, is that we value your experience. You have a wealth of information to share, and we all learn when we create the space for that to happen in. And this is about creating that space for us to learn from one another. Yeah? We ask you to do that not from a place of fear. Not from a place of fear, and not for a place of not stretching those muscles. Yeah? Not from a place of not stretching yourself. Okay?
In my everyday work, I don't do a lot of movement, and I'm not particularly a dancer. Just really struck by how different it makes you feel, and the different ways that you connect with people, and the experience and the information that you're sharing when there's movement involved. I mean, that really was just a light bulb in a way for me. And it just, interspersed with the conversation, getting up and moving and doing the interactive things. So it was sometimes uncomfortable, but it was really amazing to me how comfortable it was, and I think they're just very expert at making people feel comfortable and easing them into it, and getting people to feel the confidence that they can do that and participate.
Veo diversidad, siento comunidad, escucho la verdad. Poder,
unity, people,
love,
truth, culture,
revolución,
openness, love,
heal,
honesty, Honduras,
familia,
forgiveness, love,
Ishikatiawi,
love, people,
family,
community, energy,
unity,
humanity,